We're back, continuing a conversation with political expert Craig Smith with possible solutions to the problem of our dysfunctional legislature. You also suggest ending the two-thirds vote, Craig, to pass the budget and two-thirds vote for new taxes. Republicans will scream that if we just have a simple majority, the liberal Democrats will tax us to death.
Well, but you also elect a governor who can veto the budget. And so the governor could protect. Now, if you've got overwhelming Democratic majorities and you've got a Democratic governor, I think the voters are trying to tell you something about what they want and what they want to do.
Okay. Dump useless state commissions. There are quite a few state commissions that pay termed out legislators $100,000 a year or more for just a few meetings, and people can and get pensions off those too.
Oh yeah, if you go online and look at all the state commissions, it's remarkable. I mean, you've got the commission that runs fish hatcheries and the commission that runs trout streams, and could we have just one fish commission and do away with it? It's really silly. We had what we called the Mini Hoover Commission. I don't know if you remember, but the Hoover Commission under Eisenhower, former President Hoover headed a commission to look through the government, find waste, and close it down. We did a mini one in California. They suggested closing something like 300 commissions. I don't think a single one was ever closed down. We could save a lot of money that way.
So there's a lot of fat in this budget.
Yes.
And cutting that fat can go some way towards solving our fiscal problems.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You also suggest only 2 elections per year and hold them on weekends.
Yes. Number one, why are we voting on days when people have to go to work and find it difficult to get to the polls? You get in a traffic jam on the way home, you can't get to the polls. We should vote on the weekends, make it a 24-hour period that rolls between Saturday and Sunday, and everybody could vote under those circumstances. And we wouldn't be offending anybody's religion, or we would be offending them equally. And we have too many elections every year. Long Beach has one in May, and somebody else has one in April, and somebody else has one in June. If we could concentrate all of that, we'd get a better turnout. People would pay attention to what they're voting on, and I think we'd have a better democracy in this state.
The turnout you mentioned, which maybe is 50%, which is kind of low, is that a reflective of voter apathy or disgust at the system, or what?
I think those things, and also that sometimes ballot propositions are just so confusing that people say, I don't know what they're talking about, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to vote.
And the initiative process has been taken over by special interests, because you need several $1 million to get all the signatures.
That's right.
And so special interests, whether it's tobacco or drug, they have these very fancy sounding innocent names, the Citizens for Good Government, but it's really special interests behind these things.
That's right.
Pushing their own agenda.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what about money, Craig? We've talked about this many times before, but the corrupting influence of the role of money in the political process.
Well, it's very difficult, particularly when you have term limits, which I'd probably also do away with. If you can get elected, that's the people's right to put you in. And what happens in Sacramento with these term limits is people get termed out, a new person comes in to take over that assembly seat, and they don't know what they're doing. And so lobbyists pour in on them and educate them. And so the lobbyists get their way with these inexperienced new members of the Assembly or new members of the Senate. And if you're in that 11% we talked about earlier in discretionary funds, as is the University of California, as is the California State University system, you have to re-educate all those people over and over again every time a new one comes in.
I've gone back and forth on term limits.
Me too.
But people wanted term limits to get people out.
Yeah.
And we do that, but it's more musical chairs now. They run from Assembly over to Senate and always looking for the next job. Maybe we're better off leaving everyone where they are, letting them learn the job, have level playing field by redistricting so these districts are not safe, and then if someone's really, I mean, how long was Willie Brown in? He ran a pretty good legislature.
Yeah, long time. And I think you're right. The key is, as long as there's redistricting, then we can have a removal of term limits, and it should work better. And so the Constitutional Convention should consider that.
How do we create this convention? Who has to do what to create a constitutional convention?
The legislature can call one, and they can set out the way it works. They can say there'll be 100 delegates elected across the state, or they can say all of the members of the Assembly and the Senate plus elected delegates. Or it can be done by ballot proposition, that the Constitution will end on this date, and by that time
the people would vote.
The people would vote.
And would that require a majority or two-thirds?
Yes. I think a majority would do it. Yeah.
Does that mean that everything is sunsetted, whether it's the right of privacy, whether it's the decision on gay marriage? I mean, is everything off the table?
No, all your federal rights would be preserved. So
yes.
Freedom of expression, the right to a fair trial, everything that's in the Constitution is
US
preserved.
Constitution.
U.S. Constitution is preserved, but everything that's in the California Constitution would be on the table. Prop 8 could be revoked, Prop 13 could be revoked, all of that.
Well, it's a staggering idea, but maybe the problem has come to such a degree that we need to is there some movement towards this, or is this a professor's view of
No, I think there's more talk about a constitutional convention than ever before, and the governor has called for one.
Really?
Yes.
Well, okay, we'll be back with the remaining portions of Straight Talk, but first we have to pause for these messages.
Welcome to McKenna's on the Bay, where fine dining is complemented with a breathtaking view. McKenna's is a restaurant of incredible ambiance, providing service and cuisine with style, class, and romance. The menu offers a variety of appetizers, serious seafood, prime steaks, an oyster bar, and specialty entrees for either lunch or dinner. McKenna's on the Bay features patio dining, nightly entertainment, and 2 banquet facilities. No matter what your occasion, McKenna's on the Bay is like being on vacation. Join us today at McKenna's on the Bay.
Founded in 1976, Polly's Gourmet Coffee is Southern California's most complete gourmet coffee store. Polly's has the best tasting coffee, freshly roasted every day right in the store, plus a wide selection of teas, an in-house bakery, espresso bar, patio dining, and more. We also offer Wi-Fi, free internet access for all of our customers. Our nationwide clientele agree, when it comes to coffee, there's only one name to remember: Polly's. 4606 East 2nd Street, welcoming you into Belmont Shore.
Take care of those who are closest to you, from our family to yours. McCarty's Jewelry, since 1932.
How do you like your chances the rest of the way?
I got no idea. But I do know that if we stay with Naples Rib Company, at least we won't go hungry.
Coach, what do you think about some of those questionable calls tonight?
Oh, yeah, but if you want a sound call, I'd call Naples Rib Company. You can't miss on that call.
Then Naples Rib Company is part of your game plan?
There really is nothing more motivating than a great barbecue meal at Naples Rib Company.
Victory or not, Naples Rib Company, great game plan.
What a great show on such an important topic, the political health of our state and the future of our state. And as we come to the end of the season and our 15th anniversary season, I can't think of any guests we would have rather had for this show than our friend Craig Smith. Thank you so much for your time and expertise, and final words to our viewers.
It's been great being here, but keep the faith and clean the state up.
Okay. Thank you for watching. Have a great summer. We will see you next week on the next edition of Straight Talk. Good night, everyone.
Straight Talk has been brought to you by Southern California Edison, the Press Telegram, and Long Beach Magazine. And remember, Straight Talk is viewable worldwide 24/7 at straighttalktv.com.